folks who not only worked at the park, had family working at the park, but they lived in the area or they loved our state parks, and they came from all over. We had people from as far away as Nashville and other places down at Fall Creek Falls event. And we have heard resounding. Senator Harris and I have proposed these town halls as a way to facilitate communication with people who we don't feel like are receiving enough information about what is going on. Now, I spoke to the commissioner of TDEC a couple of weeks ago, and we asked him questions. We asked him a lot of questions, and what we've heard, I spoke to him, and he said this has kind of been in the works since 2013, where discussions started that early. But a lot of employees across the state at our state parks didn't hear about this until this fall, at the earliest in some instances. So what Senator Harris and I are trying to do is facilitate some information sharing. We have both come out strongly against this plan. We've introduced legislation to try to provide some legislative oversight of the proposals that are taking place right now. We have representatives here from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. Ms. Brooke Barrett is here today. She's the Director of External Affairs for TDEC. Park Ranger Chris Padgett is here, the Regional Area Manager for Middle Tennessee with TDEC. And before I go any further, I want to recognize our former colleague and a real role model of mine, State Representative David Shepard is here. 2 years ago, a long time ago, I was just a freshman legislator, and Representative Shepard took me under his wing and taught me a lot about how the state capitol works, and I will be forever indebted to that. And he and his wife both have been great friends to all of us and done a lot of good for this area. So, as I was saying, Senator Harris and I have been working on this issue. We approached this issue, we had a pretty gut reaction of opposition to it, just looking at the lives, the jobs, the things that could be affected. But we always want to look for ways to make our government more efficient. If there's ways we can save money, there's certainly worth taking a look at. But what we have found from traveling the state of Tennessee is that, in fact, we've cut things back to the point they can be cut. There's very little room left to cut services. We have deferred maintenance at our state parks for too long, and at our colleges and universities. And a lot of the departments we've found were understaffed. So we have yet to see room in the instances where outsourcing is being proposed and where privatization is being proposed. We have yet to see the evidence of where we can make government more efficient or save taxpayers dollars. And so we have taken it upon ourselves to lead this effort to provide information to those being affected. That's why you have somebody here from Nashville and somebody here from Memphis, because this isn't just a Nashville or Memphis issue, this isn't just a Dixon issue, this is a Tennessee issue. Because state parks are our parks. Everyone, that is part of the cultural identity of the state of Tennessee, we are blessed to have. And we've had leadership in the past that has taken the steps necessary to preserve and protect beautiful land across the state of Tennessee, and that is part of our identity. And we are very proud of our state parks, as well as our state colleges and universities. So this is something that's near and dear not only to our heart, but we know it's near and dear to your heart, and that's why you've taken time out of your busy schedules, out of your workday, to be here with us. And we hope that this meeting, we'll have to be out of here by 3 o'clock, but we hope this meeting is substantive enough for you. I hope you all, I know some people have communicated to me in the past at other meetings that they were afraid to ask questions or stand up. And so what we have provided are these cards. So if you have a question and you don't feel comfortable stand up and introducing yourself, please fill out one of these cards at the table on the way back, on your way out, and we will get your questions answered to the best of our ability from TDEC and provide them to everyone who signed in here today so that you can have your questions answered. And we will try to answer as many questions as we can here today during the time we have. So with that, I'll turn it over to Senator Harris, who will touch on a little bit of the history of this issue, and then we'll start taking questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Representative Clemmons. I'm pleased to be here again. My name is Lee Harris, and we have, as he said, we've been touring a lot of state facilities, and we've got some great state parks in Memphis, in the district I represent. But I am pleased to be here because this is a beautiful facility, and you guys are really blessed. So we wanted to get out of the Nashville bubble, as it were, and to come out and to hear from folks that really have a stake in these park facilities and other facilities that may be privatized. The governor's plan, and I don't want to overstate because maybe some of it will actually not come to pass, all right, let's be clear, but some of it may. But as it sits now, the plan is to take a look at outsourcing the management of not just state parks, but as Representative John A. Clemmons said, college campus, real estate operations, hospitals, prisons, National Guard armories, and other facilities. Some estimates have suggested that there are 10,000 state jobs that are in the balance. 17% of our state workforce could be impacted here, according to some of our sources. The short of it is maybe nothing will happen, but maybe something will happen. The governor has said he's going to start with Falls Creek Falls Park, and that's going to be relatively imminent. And from there, they'll take a look at other parks that generate high volume. And this is one of those facilities that looks like it is a successful park with high volumes, which may enter into the crosshairs. At Falls Creek Falls, of course, they're going to knock down the facility there and invest in a new facility. And at the same time, there will be changes such that the employees there, although they'll be offered an opportunity to apply for new employment, if they get new employment, it will be under the leadership of a private vendor. There are about 42 employees that they'll start off with that may be impacted at Falls Creek Falls. And again, there's some state representatives here that can correct the record and make sure that, the best information is made available to you. But so far, again, they're starting with Falls Creek Falls, and from there, we would go to other high-volume facilities. And as far as we can tell, we wanted to make sure that you were made aware of this. Now, there are a bunch of things that can be done. There's some bad news. The bad news is that the governor so far is not listening to diverse voices, like the voices of those in this room. The good news is that legislators are listening. And so we have to continue to engage and activate our legislators and tell them our concerns, if we have them, about what may happen at some of these facilities. There's also some bills on the table. Governor Clemmons talked about one. I'll talk about one other. And you can talk to your representative or state senator about it. And that is a bill to change our self-sufficiency law with respect to state parks. So the short of it is Tennessee state government does quite a lot of things, right? We do roads, we do health care in some regards, we do education, we do criminal law and prisons. All of these are done as a public service. In other words, they are done for the benefit of the public without a requirement that the service rendered produce a profit or even break even. From time to time, there are laws in place that says, no, with respect to this project, it's got to make money. And parks is around that. Right? There is a law that says parks have to be self-sufficient. That means they've got to make money or break even. Now that's different from how we approach other public programs. And that's not the way it should be. Parks, the lodge, the restaurant, the conference center, this is for the benefit of all Tennesseans. And it should continue to operate for the benefit of all Tennesseans. And it shouldn't be something in the law that requires it to operate at a profit. And we don't do that anywhere else in Tennessee state government, or very few places. So I brought copies of the self-sufficiency law. You can take a look at it yourself. If you want to see change, you can contact your legislator and try to get your legislator to sign on as a co-sponsor. I can tell you for sure, if any of you contact your legislator, they're going to do whatever you tell them to do. Right? That's how America works. Right? That's how this state works. 20 folks contact your legislator, he or she will listen. With that said, I don't want to monopolize the time. This is an opportunity for us to have a conversation and to make sure that the best and most up-to-date information is shared with you all And like I said, we have some representatives